What's going on, Paisanos? V here, coming at you guys with my Magical Musketeer deck profile. I really enjoy Magical Musketeers, even when they first came out and Zoo was the big hype. This deck is really good right now, and nobody really knows about it. And whether you're watching this video to build Magical Musketeers, or you're watching this video to know what to do when you play against Magical Musketeers, this video is for you, because this deck will catch you off guard and steal wins. Guys, before we begin, please make sure to hit the like button on this video, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. If you're going to be building Magical Musketeers, are you looking to grab this deck, or are you just looking to see what it does and you really want to analyze this deck, because this is the kind of video you need. In this video, I'm going to go over the main deck, side deck, and extra deck, and then I'm going to give you guys my reasons and choices for why I decided to put in certain cards in and what certain cards do. Some of this deck is in German, but I'll help translate for this these cards for you guys. So the first thing we're going to do is 3 Magical Musketeer cast bars. Now, every Magical Musketeer has that effect that if it's in a zone, so if it's in a monster zone, and your opponent activates a spell trap in their zone, or you activate a spell and trap in your zone, hard once per turn, after the resolution of that spell and trap, you can use the Magical Musketeer's effect. You also have the additional effect of activating a Magical Musketeer spell or trap from their hand, from the player's hand who has Musketeer on board during either player's turn, which is a huge deal. When Magical Musketeer's cast bar, his ability is when a spell trap activated in his zone, his column. What you do is you want to add 1 Magical Musketeer card, period. Any Magical Musketeer card. Next, we have 3 Magical Musketeer Starfires. Same thing with the zone, except when she's procced, she'll just special summon a Magical Musketeer monster from the deck to the field and face up defense position. Then we have 3 Magical Musketeer Kid Brave. His ability is when a spell trap proc in his zone, you can discard a Magical Musketeer card and draw 2 cards. He'll help you cycle. And you really want him to cycle because you want to use your docks, which you play 2 of. What he does is, when a magic spell trap's activated in his zone, you can add a Magical Musketeer card from your graveyard back to your hand, so you can start recycling it with Doc, Caspar, Kid Brave, all that stuff. Then we have the One of Calamity, a level 4 monster, more importantly, because Starfire's level 4 and he's level 4 because we do play the Utopia package in this deck. Her ability is when she activates her effect, she can actually, I think she special summons from the graveyard. Actually, I forgot, it's her, and there's another one. I decided to go with her. I think she special summons a Magical Musketeer monster from the graveyard. There's another one that this deck also uses, but I'm not using it. I forgot his name, the big, strong, muscular guy, whatever his name is. When his effects proc for him, you can shuffle 3 Magical Musketeer cards from the graveyard back in the deck and you draw 1. I like her just because she helps, facilitate the combo. Then for hand traps, we're running, well, this deck is all full of hand traps, but actual hand traps, we're running 3 Fantastical Dragon Phantasme. This card is huge in this deck. Unlike other decks in which you'll put other hand traps, like the 2 of Ash Blossom we play, or maybe Nibiru, or any of those cards, Phantasme literally searches all the spells and traps that are Magical Musketeer cards. And if you have Phantasme up on board with a cast bar, everything is live to activate. So you want to resolve Phantasme, cycle through hand traps to find more hand traps, and use them. And one of the best hand traps this deck has is 3 of Cross Domination, I believe this card is called. What the cool thing about this card is it takes a monster your opponent has and makes it attack 0. Then negates his effect. Now, what I love about this card is you really activate this card during damage step because it has the attack damage modification, which is really cool about it. Negates a monster effect. And another thing that's really cool about it, once again, even though it's a quick play spell, and normally when these are in your hand, you can play them, the ability of Magical Musketeers allow you to play this on your opponent's turn, which is really good. We also play 3 Cosmic Cyclone because we want to make sure our summons go through. We want to make sure we maintain any kind of board presence, and this card helps do that. And then we run 2 Pod Desires. We're seeing builds that run 3 Pod Desires, and I don't hate 3 Pod Desires, by the way. I really don't. But the problem is it's a 40-card build, and that's exactly what I want to keep it at. And that's why I want to run 4 Pod Desires. I don't want to go over 40 for Magical Musketeers. And that's why we're running 2 Instant Fusions. We don't open 2 of these in our hand, and that's my reason for Instant Fusions in general. For almost any deck, I want to only run 2 Instant Fusions. I run in my Thunder Dragons, and for Magical Musketeers, I'm also going to run it in here as well. And the reason is because when you open 2, you're going -1. And Instant Fusion isn't that big of a play. It's not a big combo starter. It's just to help facilitate game state. So we don't want to play 3 of these. We really want to play 2 of these. That's why I do it. Same principle for pseudo-polymerization. And that's another cool thing about Magical Musketeers. Not only can it make a control board, but it can run pseudo-polymerization. Now I run it at 2. You can choose to run it at 3 if you want to. I just find that some matches you don't need it in, and I don't want to have bricks in my hand for certain matches, whereas other matches, it's good. And that's the reason why I only play 2 of that. We run Double or Nothing. This card's always good. And if your opponent has a minimal field, a back row, or if you have Caspar and you can still go Utopia double while leaving a Magical Musketeer on board, you can search out a card that can negate your opponent's cards, which is this guy right here. It's Magical Musketeer. I forgot his name already, but he's a negator. He's at spell speed 3, counter trap right over there, and just negates any spells or traps. So let's say your opponent has one spell trap that they want to activate. You have a Caspar on board, and then you have a Utopia double with that double nothing you have in your hand. Well, when you try to end the game, you use this guy to negate whatever card your opponent's playing and just continue to end the game. It's actually really good. It makes your opponent have to overextend in plays they really don't want to against this deck. For the last wrap of the spells, we do play an Upstart Goblin. Playing as many cards, minimum cards as possible is always good. We can't run Into the Void because you want to still hold cards in your hand, but we still want to play cards like Upstart Goblin just to help thin the deck up because we want to draw as many good cards as possible. For more traps, we also have Desperado. It just targets the face-up card your opponent controls and pops it. That's all it does, and that's all it needs to do. And then we have this card over here. Something Needle, Shiny Needle, I believe it's called. This card is insane. This is a searchable DD Crow, but better than DD Crow. What this card does is you can target 3 cards in the graveyard, period, and banish them. This card's absolutely insane. If you're playing Magical Musketeers and you're playing against like an Orcus matchup, this card would easily win you that matchup by itself. Having Magical Musketeer on field, having this in hand, your opponent's going to be hard-pressed to actually create a stable Orcus board. And with that setup, I think you can easily take a win. And the last card in our deck, number 40, is Crooked Crown. This card's absolutely insane. Magical Musketeers have a huge problem with summoning a monster and having the monster stay on board. A very big problem with that. Well, this card kind of helps that problem. What Crooked Crown does is it allows you to special summon a Magical Musketeer monster from your hand during the main phase period. So if you have Magical Musketeer on board, you play this card, and you can still do the rest of your stuff. And if he somehow gets popped or you want to do something else silly, put your Magical Musketeer in hand. During your opponent's main phase, you can drop this guy, and it helps maintain a better game state. Let's look at the extra deck and some extra cards already. So let's put this aside. For the extra deck, we have 3 Magical Musketeer Max. This is the card that allows the deck to overextend and still be okay. Magical Musketeer Max has 2 effects. It's a Link 1. It requires 1 level 8 or lower Magical Musketeer monsters. So any of those Musketeer monsters, you just bring them out. And it has two effects. If your opponent has a lot of monsters, let's say your opponent has 3 monsters, you can add 3 Magical Musketeer spells and traps from your deck to your hand. If your opponent has 3 spells and traps, and this guy effect goes off, you can special summon 3 Magical Musketeers monsters from your deck to the field. That's it. It's a Link 1 that does that. It's absolutely insane, and still points down, so you can still go into Utopia double package, which once again, like I said earlier, you do play. This is a really good package, and this deck can easily go into it, and you can easily steal games quickly with Magical Musketeers due to this package. We also have a bunch of other links like Nightmare Phoenix, Beacon from the Underworld, Hippo Shingen, because all Musketeers are light, you could go into this card, Link Karibo, Borosaur Dragon. For any kind, for instant fusion target, we definitely want to play Outlaw / Restrict. And for everything else for super poly targets, we play the basic super poly package. We play Stark Venom Fusion, Salmon Grave Camaro, Draxitepelia, and Mud Dragon of Swamp. You can choose to take out a B-cap if you want to. I find myself going into it more than a lot actually. And you can put other cards in. I just like to have B-Cop in there, but you can put the new Predator Plant monster, that try-hard guy that does 3 dark monsters. You can put, if you specifically want to play against like Thunder Dragon Titan, which is really good. You definitely have one open spot with this. I just, like I said, practice with this card first and let me know how you think about it, because I really do see myself going to it a lot. Side deck really is all over the place for muskets, and every musket player has a different side deck, always fine. Every deck profile, every build, a side deck is always different. But let me explain my side deck and show you what I'm using. So right off the gate, we're going to be using 3 Artifact Lanciers. This card's insane, and yes, we can still use System Down, and that's not bad, but we're not going to be able to summon a musket and then do System Down. It's not going to work. They're going to get rid of the musket card, and System Down is decent, but with muskets, you're not really going to be getting System Down as easily as you're going to be getting Artifacts Lancia and proccing it, being the fact that we play, what's his name already? I already forgot. Fantastical Dragon Phantasme. Since we play this, we can play this. If we didn't play this, we would consider System Down, but realistically, this is the better card. Then we have 3-dimensional barriers. I mentioned this on my Market Watch earlier today, and I really do think this is a phenomenal card. Dimensional Barrier just locks out everything except links. Now, the reason that's so good, because you can have a Magical Musketeer monster on board, so we'll have Caspar, Dimension Barrier, lock your opponent out of whatever you think is a problem. Thunders, you want to say Fusions, Pendulums, obviously against Endymions. You can just do this, use this card against a lot of decks. More than I think a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players are giving this card credit for. It's really cheap in the market, by the way. It's like $1 for the original Prince Secret Rares from Invasion Vengeance. Anyway, you do that with a Magical Musketeer Caspar. Not only you lock your opponent down, but go ahead and add yourself some cards. We also play 3-red Reboot. This card's still huge for the deck and definitely needed. It'll also allow you to summon a Magical Musketeer card against any kind of control deck or any deck that wants to play like there can only be one, so like Strikers and Dracos. And you can summon this card, and when your opponent does anything, you just boom, drop that, proc Caspar, and continue effect. And being the fact that Magical Musketeers is a normal summon deck that requires their normal summons to be even decent, we're running 3 Mystic Minds and 1 Terraforming. Some players are going 2 Mind, 1 Terraforming, or 3 Mind by itself without Terraforming, but I like this a lot because we can summon Caspar, proc Terraforming and Caspar. They're gonna have to respond to this. So if let's go through, we're gonna get a +1. If they don't let this go through and they get rid of Caspar, you're still gonna search that Mystic Mind, and you're gonna play Mystic Mind from board, and your opponent's gonna be in a really, really, really bad spot. We also have the 14 slot being the 13 polymerization against the matchups that it's good against, and the last card is gonna be Dimensional Fissure. Dimension Fissure is huge, and the reason why I opted to throw this card in the side deck as well, because if you could Dimension Fissure with a Musketeer, you're in a good spot. You don't really cycle your Musketeers that much. You don't really care about Musketeers when they go to graveyard. The only one that kind of cares about them is really Calamity, and for the most part, you really don't need to really proc Calamity's effect later on in the game state. If you open with Dimension Fissure against an Orcus player, you're getting more value than actually trying to utilize Calamity's effect. And to be honest with you, I don't think Dimension Fissure will stay on board that long. And this is mostly, like I said, in Game 2, I think you could surprise your opponent with Dimensional Fissure. If somehow you do go into Game 3, your opponent's going to start a lot of back row hates, so you got to watch out when you're playing Mystic Mime, Dimensional Fissure. And that's, once again, where this card really comes into play as spell 3 to negate the spell and trap your opponent's trying to play, to negate either Mystic Mime or Deep Fissure, so you can continue locking down control in the game state. This deck starts off aggressive, starts off kind of setting up, and then quickly goes into control. And that's something you're going to find when you play against Magical Musketeers, or you're playing this deck. You're going to find yourself going into a lot of matchups in which you're going to slowly just try to control the board, or slowly try to maintain a game state that's really unfair for your opponent, and leave them with a take-some attack monster. So either A, you can double them, or B, you can just beat them down with any of these monsters, especially when you have cards like Cross Domination over here, that just allows you to facilitate those kind of plays. So anyway, guys, this is my Magical Musketeer deck with 5. I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Hit the like button, and let me know what you guys think. Are you excited about playing Magical Musketeers in 2019, going into 2020? Or are you just looking about this deck trying to figure out how to beat it? It's a really pain to beat. It's probably one of the best rogue matches that a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players are still not prepared for. And it's been around for a very long while. And it's a deck that if you take to a regionals, you take to any event, you're going to have a lot of your opponents reading a lot of your cards, which is something you want to do when you're playing against meta decks. You want them to read and try to understand what you're trying to do. And by the time they really understand what you're trying to do, it's too late. The game's already over. And if you're taking this to a regionals, I think you're going to see a lot of that. Anyway, Paisanos, your boy V. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Hit the like button, comment down below, and I'll talk to you guys later. See you later, Paisanos.